Hello, everyone. My name is Lars Howard. This is On the Fringes of Sound, and today we are talking with. Remind me how to pronounce it again. Hey,
Uh,
hey,
Auto. You can just say auto or even
just say
company
Otto.
car. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking with Zach today, better known as Otto. How are you doing today, man?
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
All right, so let's start off talking about your brand new album. So when I was listening to it, it seemed like it was kind of the next logical step from your last one, and there's a lot more original pieces on this one. You really tried to stay away from a whole lot of sampling with this one, and it seems like everything is just kind of like composed on the fly or specifically for that piece. So,
Totally.
compared, to your previous one, Achikochi.
Yeah. Achikochi.
I got it. All
Nice.
right. So this one, it moves away a little bit from what a lot of people would typically consider vaporwave, and to me, it sounded a lot more like in the realm of like chill wave and even some future funk in there.
Oh, yeah.
So, how do you think that this album like really fits into your whole catalog overall? And what were you going for exactly during its creation?
I think it's like a evolution continuity sort of thing. I feel like I kind of came in to vaporwave early, but I did it in sort of a joke way. I was kind of making like down tempo stuff, and then I found this. I kind of put out an experimental album, and I found a kind of a niche. And then as my albums progressed, I kind of blended my stuff with samples, and I kind of went back and forth of like how far can I go with my stuff with still being vaporwave, and kind of appeal to both sides, both audiences.
Mm-hmm.
And Manic Pixie, I kind of tried to blend it, but have more original stuff. But I felt with Achikochi, I wanted to kind of go back to the roots because I felt like, folks like that sampling. But for this one of my high school friends, Voxmod from Seattle, he told me about the Arturia Mini Freak. And so I got that for Christmas.
Mm.
And I was like, this thing is cool. And I plugged it in, and then I realized it came with a VST of itself. And I was like, whoa. And I just got super inspired. And was just having all these ideas without any samples. I was just doing like, I plugged in my new Strat, and I was playing with that Mini Freak. And then I was like, whoa, Arturia has like a bunch of VSTs. You could buy like a whole huge collection of like these vintage synthesizers. And I just kept on, like, I did like one song a week. I was like super stoked just to like, all these ideas are just coming like boom, 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 boom. And my dog, who's behind me, his health was going down and down and down. So I felt like, this could be a really good tribute for him to kind of capture some of, the most positive memories of the time we shared together. So I made it as a tribute album to him. And I kind of just wanted to be free to make something that was kind of from the heart and original, no samples, and something I could fully take credit for, from the album cover to the songs to everything, just like all original for the first time, maybe in like 8 years. So yeah,
Okay.
I felt good to be back to like DIY everything.
Yeah, you were talking about Arturia, like real
Mhm.
quick. Were you using the what is it, the five collection where it has like all those different vintage synths in it?
Yeah,
Oh
I was
yeah.
using the Five collection, also the Korg Legacy collection,
Oh,
um, and
okay.
then also the Mini Freak, and then also my Strat on like every song. I'm trying to blend those all together.
Hmm.
Um, so I know I say vintage synthesizers, the brain of vintage synthesizers, but
Gotcha.
not. I don't. I do have like a Reface DX Mini and a CS Mini, but it was easier just to plug in the DX7 and CS80 from Arturia. Um,
Right. So
because
I'm guessing those are your favorite emulations out of the collection.
I actually really like to start with. I love Rhodes sounds. Like
Oh, okay.
I love electric pianos, and so the Stage 73 I was using a lot. Maybe it's because I was replaying Persona 5, and they have a lot of kind of. I'm a video game guy. I was, they have
Okay.
a lot of like, and I was listening to a lot of like kind of smooth 80s jazz and kind of Japanese city pop and stuff. And just, I love this sort of smooth sound, this glassy sound. And so I would start songs kind of with progressions on that and then build from there.
So you were also talking about while you were making this album, your dog's health was going down. So
Mm-hmm.
you've basically dedicated this entire album to
Mm-hmm.
your dog.
Yeah.
So was this did you start making the album purely out of inspiration from your puppy, or was it just kind of started happening as you were making the album?
It was kind of like at the same time, like I got that Mini Freak, and the first song I made was Pine, and the sounds I was getting out of there were kind of longing sounds, like, and
Mm.
that's why I call it Pine. I also think like, okay, I'm in Seattle, there's a lot of pine trees. It could be like double meaning. But kind
Okay.
of this like longing, like pining for something. And I got the sense of like, what is something you pine for? You pine for lost memories. And so I kind of had this concept of like, you're losing something or you're trying to grasp something as this, and then, my dog's health is going down and I feel like I'm losing him. And so that inspires me to kind of continue this train of thought. And it kind of
Right.
evolved from there. So it kind of went hand in hand. It was kind of like you're doing something. A lot of the times I talk and I don't know what I'm thinking until I talk about it. And I feel like that's the same with music. I don't know what I'm doing until it's out there. And then I could say, oh, maybe I'll continue with this sort of thing. It kind of leads
Oh,
me.
okay.
Yeah.
So you're
So,
not really starting from the ideas like I know exactly what I want to say before I start talking. You just kind of start talking and you're like, "Oh, that's what I said."
yeah. Yeah. It's
I
very,
feel that.
a very like external intuition. Yeah. I guess
Right.
that would be like
Okay.
a Myers-Briggs thing. But yeah, like I have to see myself to understand who I am, sort of. It's kind of weird. But yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense
Yeah.
actually. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how long did you have your dog?
Um, for quite a long time, adopted him in 2016. So
Oh.
yeah, he was a stray in San Bernardino, and they have a lot of kill shelters down there. And then a lady in Auburn, Washington, like rescues those dogs. And then we were looking for a dog that would kind of fit like the apartment life and was also mellow. Um,
Hmm.
and out of all these dogs, they're all kind of like into themselves. But Marley walked up to me at this farm and was just like, "Hey," and I was kind of like, "This guy likes me. He's not. I don't need to be into him. He likes to hang with me." And I was like, "This is like a little buddy," and we just like
Oh.
connected. Yeah. So 7 years, and then he
Hmm.
passed when he was 14. And there's 14 songs on the album, so I didn't have him for this first 7 years, but I kind of like to think about what his life was like, just knowing his
Right.
personality and stuff. So
So on this album, are you releasing this like completely independently? Because I know your last one, Achikochi, was released through Pacific Plaza, which
yeah,
one of my favorite vaporwave
so
labels
good.
out there right now.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
yeah.
But so are you self-releasing this one? And are we getting any kind of physical release, like maybe tapes or CDs or anything like that in the future on it?
Yeah, so I'm very like, I kind of just talk to people that are in the vaporwave community, and people are
Mhm.
so gracious and kind. And Alex was awesome from Pacific Plaza, great relationship. He's always working with me on stuff and really helped me with the assembly of Achikochi. I but then I was talking to Wizard of Loneliness, and I felt like I needed, you can't just do like two releases on an album. It's probably like overload for that label because they want to reach a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Um,
of
I was talking
course.
to Wizard Loneliness. He's like, I love this thing you're working on, and I said, well, what if I self-release? I used to kind of just do only on a label, but as I kind of got more releases, I kind of wanted to have both. I wanted to have like me control the digital or the streaming, and then set up like boundaries because there were labels in the past that would try to do both. And so I just realized it was better in communication if I was explicit from the beginning, like, this is what I'm going to do, and then I would love if you did this. So Halcyon Tapes is going to release a cassette tape. I have pictures of that, actually. It looks really good. I just retweeted on Twitter. And we're also releasing a VHS of Marley that's going to go along with the music.
Real a V. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Right. It's gonna be pretty cool.
So is Halcyon Tapes doing the VHS as well, or is that something that you're doing?
Yeah, Halcyon Tapes is doing the cassette and the VHS. I've done like all like the digital distribution sort of stuff. Okay. But my album's free on my Bandcamp. But then any physical stuff they could go through Halcyon Tapes.
So when can we expect to see the cassettes and then the VHS? Yeah. Guessing the cassettes are going to come out first, and then the VHS will come out after that?
The cassettes are coming out on June 24th. I think we're still working on the VHS. We're kind of scrambling a little bit, but it's a VHS tribute tape with tons of pictures of Marley and some cool like retro backgrounds of like family video sort of stuff. So kind of throwback. So it'll kind of have like a VHS look to it, but also have a bunch of pictures of Marley. It'll kind of fit along with that. And I just wanted to like create something that was really focused on him, you know.
So you got a cassette coming out for this. We're going to be able to get that around the end of the month.
Yep.
And then there's a VHS to be determined on the date.
Yeah.
So, and then your album is actually out today as of recording. So, I can only assume that you don't have another album already in the works. What else can we expect, like, following this release? Will you be doing any live shows? Are you going to be participating in any compilations or collaborations with other artists?
People have been really generous reaching out to me for live shows. Darian Shields, done a couple live shows with him in Seattle, and also did a live show with Eyeliner in Seattle. Awesome people. But I've learned a bunch from their sets about what I shouldn't do in my sets. But I have massive stage anxiety. Like I get nightmares before the day and stuff. So maybe if somebody reaches out to me, I would consider it. But it maybe be easier with a Stratocaster than sample-based music, I think. Potentially.
I can imagine. So on the subject of like performing live though, when you have performed live in the past, what's your normal setup? Like I'm guessing you're using mostly a sample based kind of setup there, but what's the actual gear that you have on stage like while you're performing?
I've done everything from like totally faking it to it's like, what are you supposed to do, to kind of doing a mix of both, to like one time I created like I'm just being brutally honest, I created like a light box, and I had like all these lights, and I set it up with Arduino, and I had like videos behind. But then I saw Eyeliner's set, and Eyeliner just totally, he was just like, this is pre-recorded music, boom, and I'm just gonna groove and dance to it. And I thought that, I was like, why put on the pressure of like this like fake stuff if you could just groove to your own music and people love to see that you're grooving? Like, why not? And so I thought, that totally takes the pressure off, and it's fun. Like you're advertising fun. And so I learned a lot from that. I don't know if I would ever do that sort of thing. I've seen like Flying Lotus live and Daft Punk live. It's like, how much are they doing up there? Like, how much are they not doing? Like, we don't really know. Yeah. The electronic, maybe they're doing a bunch, maybe they're not.
A lot of people are really into like some of the most famous pop musicians out there, like, of course you got like the K-pop guys like BTS, and then Taylor Swift, Beyonce, all them. And whenever you go and see a live show of theirs, it's like half of that is pre-recorded. I mean, you can't sing that well while you're moving around and dancing that much. So, but at the same time, it's like everybody's going there and they're really enjoying themselves. Yeah. So if they're enjoying themselves, then,
Yeah. And I've told a lot of people this, that like, I love late Beatles and late, Steely Dan, and those guys are just like, we love to be in the studio. We love to like make something really good in the studio. And that's how I feel for most of the auto stuff, is that like, I just want to make a good listening experience, but sometimes it's hard to replicate in a live setting. But it would be easier if I had a guitar, if my stuff was more guitar based, or I could sing on some of them. I may start singing on my next album. I'm not sure, but
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I can do it. But I've tried on old albums like Neon Beige, but it didn't. I don't know. It was pretty cringe core stuff. So.
Oh no, but the guitar works really, really well on your newest album. It
Thank you. Yeah.
Like I said, it all fits together pretty well. And like I said, it kind of struck me because like Achikochi was like, it felt very much like vaporwave, just a little like modernized. However, this one is just like, oh wow, that's funky.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I realized that like sometimes, you're creating stuff and I'm like editing a lot. When you're doing Plunderphonics, it's just like you're editing, and like stretching and chopping and screwing and filtering, and you're just spending so much time in the DAW. And then I remember David Byrne of Talking Heads was like, if you're not moving when you're making your music, then your listener won't move. But if you're moving while you're making your music, it's gonna create a movement in the music, and the people that are listening are going to move. And so I'm getting on like my MIDI keyboard, or I'm getting on my Strat, and I'm like grooving, and it's creating that sound in the music, and hopefully the listener will have that as well. And I kind of want to continue more along that. Like, I think there's a lot of negativity in the world, and I think music could be used for like therapeutic purposes, like healing from a loss, but also just like lifting people, and
Right.
like giving positivity out there and stuff. And I want to be part of that.
So what I'm hearing is we're not going to be hearing any soft ballads from you anytime soon.
Maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
Channel your inner Richard Marx wherever you
Probably
go,
not.
whatever you do.
Oh my gosh. Maybe an ambient track, like a
Ooh.
introspective, like I love doing those. But yeah, ballads. I mean, I love to listen to 80s ballads.
I mean, they're their own genre, all their own.
Yeah.
So do you usually make a lot of ambient stuff? Most of what I've heard from you like definitely falls in like vaporwave, vapor punk kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, my whole tech noir side project was all ambient cyberpunk stuff, and
Okay.
I actually didn't want to pay for 2 DistroKid accounts, so I just migrated all that stuff to Auto and re-released it. That sounds like really cheap, but that was a really cool outlet where I felt like I was a little more anonymous, and I could make stuff without pressure of people expecting anything, and just make long-winded, like 16-hour-long ambient albums and stuff. So I mean, I've done that on some of the Auto stuff, like Neon Beige has some ambient tracks, and so does Android, but you got to be in the right headspace for that stuff, I think. So
I'm looking forward to that 16-hour ambient album. I'm guessing that's going to be on about 8 to 10 different CDs, like one big collection, like just
it was
stuff like a book.
Yeah, it was. It was released. It's actually going for quite a bit on Discogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, too bad you don't see any of that money.
No.
Discogs. Wow, my album is going for $200 on there.
Yeah.
And I get nothing. All right. Yeah.
I get the enjoyment of saying that on Discogs.
So, where can everybody find you online? I know you're on Twitter. Are you also on Instagram?
No, I used to be on Facebook and Instagram, got off just because it was, I don't know. I feel like social media was, I was like presenting too much. And I felt like Twitter, I could just be really simple, which is like, here's my music. Basically, I'm just Twitter and Tumblr. I kind of post on Tumblr and my Bandcamp. That's about it.
Wow.
Tumblr, yeah. MySpace. LiveJournal.
I mean, here's a little personal story. I'm never going to be able to hate on MySpace
Yeah.
because me and my wife actually met on
Oh,
MySpace.
nice.
I know, right?
Solid.
That is more than I can say for any other social media platform
Yeah.
that has come since then.
Well, there was a great community back in the day of
Oh my
like-minded
gosh.
music people. Yeah, I remember
Oh
that.
yeah, it was great. I found so much just weird music on MySpace,
Yeah.
and then MySpace died and it was replaced by Facebook. I was like, "Oh, wow. This kind of sucks."
Yeah. I actually there was something about MySpace you could like edit the HTML on your page. That's kind of where I learned how to do a lot of coding initially. It just had that personality, and you had music on your. You
Oh
can't do
yeah.
that on Facebook, right?
Oh no. No.
It's
Just
too professional.
uh, just here, have some ads.
Yeah.
Have lots of ads. Look at these
Ugh,
ads. Look at these ads. Look,
yeah.
somebody paid for these ads.
Ugh, ugh.
Ugh.
I don't know. It may hurt my SEO to not be on those platforms, but it's better for my mental health, probably.
Okay. So you pretty much just on Twitter, and then of course you're on Bandcamp as well. I'm guessing that you're also on all the streaming services as well.
Spotify,
Spotify.
YouTube. People hate on Spotify, but I mean, I think I gain the most revenue from Spotify.
Really?
Yeah, more than Bandcamp, more than that stuff. I don't know what it is, but that is what helps fund me, buying new instruments, getting new inspiration, and coming out with new albums. It's like that constant stream of, yeah.
That's crazy. Like
I don't know what it is.
90% of the other people I've talked to have been like, yeah, I don't make anything off Spotify. Yeah, Spotify's like, nah, it's barely worth it for me. And it's like, you're the first person who's just like, no, that's like my bread and butter right there.
Yeah, it's my bread. I always go the opposite direction other people are going in. Like everyone's like yuck to that, and I'm like, that's what I want. Yeah.
No, that's gold for me right there. That's good stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we can find you on Bandcamp, all the streaming services, social media. People can always reach out to you on Twitter.
Tumblr.
Oh yes, Tumblr. Oh man, I keep forgetting about Tumblr. Like the last time I remember like really using it, like really scrolling through it, they still let you put porn on there. So I feel like that's why a lot of people went to Tumblr.
I guess you never know what you see. I don't really scroll there. I just post there, and then I don't look beyond anything. Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
Just send it into the void. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually huge on the dark web too. So, no, just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. Maybe though. I mean, who knows, right?
I have a job I need done. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us here. Really great to hear about your newest album.
Thanks for the time.
Quite a story behind this album too. So that was really, I know it, because it really does reflect in the music when you listen to it. Like it's very heartfelt. Like
Thanks.
Yeah, we can feel it.
Thanks. And a lot of people were like, this is a lot more upbeat than I thought it would be. It's about a dog who died. I'm like, it's about the best memories of that dog.
Yeah, I know. That's when you just tell them it's like, this is about my dog Marley. This is not the movie Marley and Me. Okay.
I'm me, and that's Marley right there.
It's Marley and Me, but it's not Marley and Me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us, Zach. Great to hear about your newest album and the story behind it. Looking forward to seeing those cassettes and a VHS. Oh, man, I'm going to have to get on eBay or get out to the thrift shop and try and find a VHS player now. I found so much great stuff there. I almost found a turntable, but the guy in front of me picked it up and ran off with it before I could buy it. So now I know I have to be more aggressive at the thrift store. Like, put the VCR down. I will fuck you up.
Yeah. I'll stay away from your thrift stores.
It's all right. It's just Goodwill. Nobody wants to go in there.
Oh, man.
Oh, but yeah, thanks for joining us, Zach. It was great talking to you and hearing about the album and all you got coming up next.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time.